3/4.
Alright, as you tighten these down, you know, don't manhandle them, you'll strip them. Just put them pretty snug. You don't have to wring the things off, just put them down pretty good. But that's plenty that'll hold the door. And two, you're probably going to have to adjust them a little bit. So we're going to do this one try, and we're going to put another door on there and see what kind of adjustment makes. Pop it back up, put it here, adjust a little bit, and put it back on. It's real simple. It's just got one bolt here, slips through, so it won't be a problem. Alright, what we're going to do is take our plate and put it up here, and we can see that this little rubber tab here just needs to come out of the way. It's not even rubber, it's some kind of tarry stuff. Little tarry stuff. Pull that out, please, so the kit will slide in there. Put this one in first. The one right below here, you're never going to be able to get it in. So you have to stick that one in there first. Okay. On the old hinges that came off the top, you can tell the imprint from the washer where the bolt was. Now you can see this one was back a little bit and up a little bit. So if you kind of can mock that if you want. It might help the process move along a little bit more, but still it might not be as perfect. So I always try to put mine a little more in the middle. This is a little bit up, so I slid it up just a little bit. That'll stop that. Start that in the same way down at the bottom. So it's a good starting point. But, you know, unless you're a real lucky person, you're going to have to readjust these. So good luck with that. But it's not that big of a deal to readjust. It just, and I'll show you how that goes in a minute. But just go ahead and bolt these down and leave this top one out. Don't put this one top one out until you've got it completely adjusted. Put the one in and the two here. All right. All right, this top lever here, put a little axle grease up here. Down in the hole a little bit. Underneath also. Rub some down here in the little slot, the locking channel. This is the locking channel where the door comes down. The door, bottom part of the door locks in there. So you have a dual solid mount, just like in your old hinges, from the top and bottom, so your door won't wobble around and you'll keep a good air seal at the very bottom. Now we've taken the door, we're going to slide it in. We got the two halves. You just pull the little piece out here and you slip it in the hole. Take yours back and open it, back, out. Right there. Go. The two halves are slid into each other. Now he's going to hold it. Don't let them down until we check the adjustment and all. We got to put the other bolts underneath. Go inside there and put the other bolt to the piece so they won't wobble around, and then you can get an idea where you're at. All right, I've got my little spacer on my nut. Just stick it underneath here. Alright, the little spacer has an Allen little locking nut. When you snug it up tight where there's no wobble, don't crimp it down where you can't move the door in and out, but snug it up real tight. Take this Allen wrench and put on there and tighten it, snug it down. That way it won't let your bolt work out until you get it, the bolt set. But I'll tell you about that in a minute. Just do that for now. Alright, our first adjustment, you can see that down at the bottom we need the door to go in a little bit more. When we go to shut it, it's barely touching right here. That's a good reason why you put tape on it. So we need to take the door in a little bit more, and plus the whole door has to go down a little bit. We'll do that with the base plate. We'll bring that down a little bit, and we'll bring the bottom of the door in by the plate that's on the door. So we're going to undo my bolt in here. He's going to lift it back up. I'm just going to do the one bolt, pull the door back off, put it back on our little door tray where it holds the door, and do the adjustment, bring it back over. Okay?
Okay.
All right, we know the bottom part of the door need to go in. And they need to go down a little bit. We're not going to do the down part here. We're going to do it on the other half. So anyways, I'm going to loosen these up and bring them down just a little bit more so that'll bring the door in. And we'll pretty much leave our adjustment there. The best way to do that is always leave your top one. You got to loosen up all of them, but leave the very top one snug so you won't lose all your adjustment. Just barely loosen it. Just enough where you can move this down. Alright, here we're going to bring this down just a little bit because we know we need to bring the door down because the lines on the door and the fender didn't quite meet. So I'm now going to bring that down, bring it down about 1/8 of an inch. And I know the bottom too, my door was here, was too big of a gap. It's about 3/16 of an inch, something like that, and it was over 1/4, so we'll try that. Okay, I've brought it down a little bit, so we're going to give that a try, just tighten them all back up. Alright, second attempt. Okay. Alright, we're going to put on the shocks. We got the door on, we got it down. Let it down, Henry. You want to make sure that you don't, if you get the door too low, you got to be careful when you're shutting all the, make sure the gaps are good because this door will hit this bottom part. And same thing up here at the top. It's going to be real close tolerances right here. Put your piece of paper through there, and as you let it down, you should be able to barely pull it through. So it's going to be close up here. But anyways, just make sure your gaps are good and then go ahead and shut it. Close it. So the gaps and all should be good and even on it, the bottom line and everything. So it took us several times to get it, but just be patient with it and you will adjust it out up and down and back and forth. You have several adjustments you can do on it. So just make sure all your gaps are good before you put your shocks on. This will be the last thing you do, put your shocks on after you get all your gaps right. Okay? Small end goes to the top. Alright, little swivel here. You get it going. This, you put this on before you put the shocks on. This goes over the little nut, and on the actual kit I'll show you where that is. You can't see it here, it's dark, but the shock with out the tab. Do the top one first, so let's flip it this way. On the top toward the bottom. And then on this piece here. We got the shocks on there.
Just a little bit.
We adjusted it out. Everything's good. You can't really tell, it's too darn freaking dark. But anyways, we got it adjusted out. I'll show you the front of the car here. Alright, we just finished putting them on, and that's in their fully up position. That looks sweet. Alright, you go, both of y'all go to each side and set them down.
Get a donut out of here.
Yeah, nice. Alright, let them down. Yeah. Sweet.